Hello, this is Crystal Racing here for the 2021 Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. An update on the race results. Kimi Raikkonen has been handed a 30-second time penalty for failing to follow the sporting regulations concerning the rolling start after the red flag, which was given out for, of course, the incident between Bottas and George Russell. Now, according to this report, the stewards heard from Kimi Raikkonen and the team, having, of course, done an investigation with them, and on the lap before the restart following the suspension of the race, Kimi spun up turn 3. Article 42.6 indicates the driver may retake his position as long as he does so prior to the first safety car line (brackets SC1). At first, the team instructed to do so, but then told him to hold his position. Article 42.6 then indicates that should a driver fail to take his position, he must enter the pit lane and can only rejoin the race once the whole field has passed the pit exit. Article 42.12 indicates that during a rolling start, once the safety car lights turns its lights out, quote, no driver may overtake another car on the track until he passes the line. In this case, the driver caught up to the cars ahead of him between turn 13 and 14, but the safety car turned its lights out at approximately turn 10. This would appear to be a contradictory instruction, and the team instructed the driver to not regain his position. Fearing this would create a safety issue in wet conditions, they radioed the race director, Michael Massey, but there was no time for a response between their call and the restart. The stewards consider it to be a further contradiction that when the cars are behind the safety car during a safety car period, they are prohibited from passing, but when they are behind the safety car for a restart, they are permitted to. Even though the rules reasons for a rolling start are that the track conditions don't permit a standing start. However, the rule requiring a car to enter the pit lane if it fails to regain its position is consistent among several championships, as it has been in the Formula 1 sporting regulations for several years and has been consistently applied. The penalty is a mandatory penalty, and therefore the stewards considered that they have no alternative than to apply this penalty for reasons of consistency. Competitors are reminded that they have the right to appeal certain decisions of the stewards in accordance with Article 15 of the FIA International Sporting Code and Article 10.1.1 of the FIA Judicial and Disciplinary Rules within the applicable time limits. Oh dear, what a mess. So it turns out to be that because it was a red flag restart, Kimi, well, despite of course earlier on in the race, Sergio Perez being given a penalty for the fact he overtook Sainz and who was it? Gasly or Leclerc, I can't remember. He overtook two cars after he spun during a safety car, but of course that safety car was during the race conditions. Was of course Kimi's spin came before the race was officially restarted, and the fact that the FIA were treating it as an official race start despite the fact they had changed the usual standing start due to the wet conditions to a rolling start. Man, the FIA really need to sort their communications out, because last weekend, just so that not last weekend, the first race of the season at Bahrain, which was now 3 weeks ago, there was a lot of confusion over track limits at turn 4 in particular, and of course, in practice and in qualifying, everyone would have their lap times deleted if they crossed the track limits at turn 4. But of course, during the race, of course, the FIA decided that everyone was permitted to breach track limits at turn 4, which Lewis Hamilton did 29 times, and as well as Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas. But of course, when Christian Horner, the Red Bull team boss, asked the FIA for clarification, then Mercedes then stopped crossing track limits at turn 4 once Christian Horner made a complaint. So I've got to say this, Michael Massey and the FIA really need to improve their communication with the teams because, yeah, Kimi Raikkonen and Alfa Romeo have lost 2 points over this, and that means that Alpine already up into 7th place in the constructor standings, and Alfa Romeo back down to 8th place again. Yeah. So if you quote unquote enjoy this video, because I certainly did not one bit, please like, subscribe to Crystal Racing, and I'll see you again very soon.